Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Averbook. I'm CEO of Knowledge Infusion, and just wanted to welcome you here as well to our first at Knowledge Infusion Executive Forum. We'll talk a little about the forum as part of the opening remarks here and just share some information with you. But so pleased that you're here. And what I just wanted to start with was to thank our hosts, Northrop Grumman, for everything that they're doing. They've allowed us into their building. So Northrop, thank you very much. Last time I was here, one of the last times I was here, we were in the middle of a snowstorm, believe it or not, in Dallas, and we were talking about closing. The facility here was talking about closing because it just snowed and snowed and snowed all day. So it's a fascinating convergence of or divergence versus what it looks like today. Thank you for those that participated in the pre-conference workshops yesterday. A number of people in our Evolving the Core HR Strategy session, as well as the Nurturing Enterprise Collaboration session. Had about 25 people in each session, which is exactly sort of what we tried to do from a size standpoint to make sure that there was a lot of dialogue. I know that the session that I was leading, there was a great dialogue that ended 15 minutes late. The other session, I think, might still be going on. On the enterprise collaboration, they figured they would just collaborate and collaborate and collaborate all night long. But no, so great opening sessions, and thank you for those that attended. And hope you had some fun also. Last night, for those that attended, we had a great night at the Rangers game. It was a close game. Someone walked up to me and said, "Do you know it's only the third inning?" And the bars were closing because I didn't know they closed the bars 2.5 hours after the game started, but it was only the third inning. But anyway, it was a great time, and thank you for those that attended. So a few pictures from last night that I thought represented the night. And we did have a golf tournament, I know, earlier yesterday. So for those of you that golfed and survived the heat, that was great. For those of you that went to the spa, great. Hope you enjoyed the spa. So let's talk about today and really why we're all here. I wanted to start with just some numbers. When Judy McFarland from Northrop Grumman and I first started talking about doing this event, and she graciously agreed, she said, "How many people are you thinking?" I said, "Probably about 75." And I said, "Do you have a space for 75?" She's like, "That's about what this room holds, is 75." So we have 75 people here. We wanted to make sure that it was a complete event with our customers and leaders in the industry. We were begged by every single software vendor in the world to come, and we said no. We wanted it to be a very unique event so that you didn't have to worry about what you said turned into a sales opportunity later on with the vendors and things like that. So there's 75 of you here today, from organizations, like the Dells, the Northrop Grummans, the Nikes, the Transoceans, I'm looking around, the Hostess, the Fairmont Hotels, the Four Seasons Hotels, the Nordstroms of the world. So great to have, organizations, Auto Traders of the world, Bechtels of the world, Bell Holocaust. I'm not leaving anyone. Now I can't stop as I keep looking around the room. Not leaving any ADMs of the world. So that wasn't my intent to go through the whole list, but I can't leave anyone out. So Targets of the world. So it's great to have, I'm sure I missed a couple, but it's great to have such a great list of organizations. Hager Clothing of the world, Shaw of the world. So great to have some great organizations here as well. So 75 people here from, what's 57? 57 companies. So I didn't really do a good job of naming all of them, so I apologize. YMCA of the world. I'll just keep doing this all day as I look at people. But a great list of organizations here. What's 15? Any ideas? It's the number of companies from Texas. So great that out of the 57 organizations, 15 of them are from Texas. Even greater that 42 of them traveled from outside of the state of Texas to attend the event. What's a million? A million there's about 1.1 actually million employees represented by the employers of this room. So if you think about the number of employees that all of you represent, it's about 1.1 million employees, which is just a huge number of employees within the global workforce out there. So really exciting. And what do you think the one is? It actually is a part of Knowledge Infusion. I wanted to put the one up there because I would like everyone in the room to think of the rest of the day as one group here. Well, this is something being put on by Knowledge Infusion, and it's done by hosted by Northrop Grumman. I'd really like to think of this group as a group of one. I'd really like us to think about how do we network together, how do we collaborate together. This is the first of a quarterly series of events that we're going to be doing. So hopefully we'll have, be giving out badges for those of you that are at 5 in a row and 10 in a row and things like that. They're not all going to be in Dallas, of course, but so really, really excited that this is the first event. We're really excited that you're inaugural members of this first event, and also really, really excited about the fact that Knowledge Infusion is at the point now where we can put this on for you. So turn to someone you don't know and just say hello from a networking standpoint. Okay, great. Thank you. When we take a look at Knowledge Infusion, what I wanted to do, and because all of you are either customers or prospects and you've made time here, is just to really give you a really, really high-level overview of sort of where we've come from and what we're doing. When we formed the organization 5 years ago, it was Heidi Spierge, who's in the back, and Heidi, you might stand up and raise your hand. So Heidi's the co-founder of our organization, and Heidi and I's goal was to help HR organizations understand the strategic power of technology. And when I say the strategic power of technology, meaning I don't just buy technology to buy technology, but I actually look at technology as a way to align my organization and drive business value. Over the last 5 years, and we're celebrating our 5-year anniversary now, we've had the opportunity to work with 300+ organizations in various aspects of transforming their HR function, in looking at new ways of doing service delivery, in helping them through the adoption curve, in helping them understand what vendors select, all around human capital. And all of us are here with a unique interest in how do we optimize the human capital of our organization. So the speakers we have today, the focus of the event is all around this. And whether you're focused on portals and how to develop a better experience, or how to deliver better HR services, how to increase the performance, all things that we want to make sure that you get out of the event today, and all things that we are very proud to stand for from a Knowledge Infusion standpoint. I think the biggest thing that we tie to is how do we get value beyond HR? So how do we think outside of the HR box? And for those of you that were in my pre-conference workshop yesterday, and Jason's as well, we didn't talk about HR much. We talked about business outcomes. We talked about business results and how we actually align ourselves back to the business. And that's really what the focus of our organization is all about, is how do we continue to do that? Many of you have used our services from a consulting standpoint. Really, a very, very, very successful launch of the consulting organization 4+ years ago, to have worked with the number of clients we have, which many of them are in the room. This year we launched something called KI On Demand. And the real reason we launched KI On Demand was to be able to continue the support that we offer to organizations like yours. So when we're not there, but questions come up, what do? So this is a 24/7 online, phone, advice, inquiry model where you're talking to myself or one of our consultants from around the world about a specific issue, whether it's what do we do about a competency model, or we're thinking about these vendors, or we're thinking about an upgrade, or can you connect me with someone else who's running Oracle EBS, just so I can talk to them? The purpose of the on-demand model is even without us on site, you have that connection point. on a go-forward basis, as well as we're publishing tools and content that you use on a daily basis within your organization. You guys, anyone that's worked with us know that the whole focus of what we do is around people, process, and technology. Technology being the small part, the important part, but that without the people, the change management, and the governance, without thinking about changing processes. I gave a speech in San Francisco on Monday where I actually stopped using the word process transformation and actually started using the term process formation. Just because I actually said, wow, a lot of people don't even have these processes. We're talking about transformation of performance management. But really, what people are doing today isn't even performance management. It's a performance appraisal. So I actually need to formulate these processes, not transform them necessarily. And then, what is the right technology to make that work? So, our service is always on. One of the big things that this event is meant to do is it's meant to network folks together like yourselves. This is a forum and a platform that we want to continue to grow. We'll be looking for you all, for feedback. So you might say, guys, we want vendors there. We'd love to have a little vendor demo area in the back of the room or out in the hall during a break. Believe me, they would love to be here. That wouldn't be a hard thing to do. You might say, there's enough opportunities for that. I don't want to do that. So we're going to be continuing to look to you for what are the types of things that you want. The other thing about sort of our service is always on model is that you should know that any of the Knowledge Infusion people in the room that I'm going to introduce in a second are here to serve you. We all have an amazing passion towards this space, and there's not one person in our organization that you shouldn't feel free to reach out to 24/7, and I wouldn't be surprised if you got a response back within an hour, even if it was in the middle of the weekend. That's not a requirement to work at Knowledge Infusion, but it is sort of the culture that we keep. So, our service is always on. And really, when you take a look at this slide, what we're trying to do is help you blend what's happening at the enterprise level of your organization with what you're trying to do from an HR and workforce standpoint with what's happening from an enterprise technology standpoint. Because as we know, we're forced, I was talking with a woman from the YMCA this morning. We were talking about how, hey, at corporate we're doing this, at the enterprise level we're doing this, what do we do from an HR standpoint? At a corporate level we're doing this, what do we do at a local level? So in every case, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take the global views of organizations, the things that they might be stuck with or blessed with, whichever word you'd like to use, and then talk about how do you turn it into something that actually drives value for your organization. And we do that in a lot of different ways, from delivering our strategy all the way to helping with vendor selection to what we feel one of our most important services is deployment and change management. And the reason we feel that this is most important is because you can take the best strategy and the best technology in the world, but if your change management and your rollout is not adequate, quote unquote, no one's going to use it. Best product, best technology, no one's going to use it. If you're a marketing machine like Doug Ullman at the Lance Armstrong Foundation, who's going to speak in a minute, for those of you that are wearing your yellow wristbands already, they've done something to gain adoption, right? What do we do to gain adoption as we roll out technologies and roll out functions to our organizations? So the value that we want to bring you is really focus, expertise, and business results. And we want to keep that within our values of knowledge, talent, partnership, celebration, passion, and trust. Those have been the values of KI since Heidi and I sat at a Starbucks in Danville, California and came up with the organization. They're still the values that we keep today. So hopefully those things are infused throughout the work we do with you on an ongoing basis. So this executive forum, why is it so important? I hope that it's most important to you from a networking standpoint. It was really, really cool, and made myself and the Knowledge Infusion folks really, really proud to see so many organizations talking to each other last night. Because the best way to learn is, well, we might say it's from us, the best way to learn is from you all talking to each other. So it was really, really exciting to see that, and I hope that that continues throughout the day. The second thing is learning. I know that some people learned something yesterday, if nothing else, my odd analogy of a core HR system and buying a dog. But everyone learned something yesterday, hopefully. Would you agree? Even if it was how hot it is to sit outside at a Rangers game. Everyone learned something. Today you're going to learn a lot, so listen. Sharing. Please share. Ask questions. We're going to save time for questions throughout the session today. Blending. What do you think blending means? Why do I put that up there? What we wanted to do from an agenda standpoint is blend some outside perspectives with some real examples of what's happening within HR organizations. So having Doug here, having Libby here, having Vinny here, outside keynotes, combined with some customer case studies, we really wanted to blend those two together. So you'll see that we'll go from a business topic to an HR topic to a business topic to an HR topic, so that we're constantly thinking about, hey, how do I take these things that these business leaders have done and blend them together into what we need to do from an HR standpoint going forward. And lastly, growing. I think that all of us love to grow as individuals, and the people you're going to meet here, I mean, truly, you're sitting in the room with some of the leaders in HR technology in the world. There's no doubt about that. From a size of company standpoint, sitting with someone like Doug Ullman here, sitting with Libby Sartain here, sitting with Vinny Merchandani here, you guys are really lucky. We're really lucky, but you guys are really lucky to have everyone together in one room. So thank you for that.